You ever heard the term give it all to love? I actually haven't heard the term till recently, but I've been doing and practicing it for forever. And finally I found this term and I love it because it signifies exactly what my life's about and what I'm about to teach you. It's Chaya and I'm back with another episode of Unstuck and Unstoppable. We're on our last week. We have a little bit of time left. I want to give you the real dig deep kind of secrets, the ones that took me years to discover and so much hardship. The ones that really, if you haven't shown up for all the other ones and you show up right now, and I don't mean just watching, I mean actually show up. Give your brain cells the opportunity to change. Because remember, your brain, a brain changed by experience will never go back to its former dimensions. Your mind changed by its form. It can never go back to its former dimensions. Do you understand? So if you really experience this properly, you will never go back. Today will be the day that changes your life. You might not recognize it or give credit to it, and that's okay. But it might just be your changing moment. So give yourself the chance, okay? So, giving over your life to love. Giving over your troubles to love. What does that mean? What does that actually entail? See, for a very long time, I was working on surrender. And I talk about it all the time. Surrender is in every single conversation that I've had, growth conversation, in every single video, you'll see on some level, a level of surrender that I talk about. About even when you take control of your own life, you got to actually surrender. And today I want to talk to you about what surrender, another terminology for surrender that can actually make it more enjoyable, and a concept of how to do it that's a lot easier. See, for me, having faith, surrendering, that always looked like giving up. It would only show up at that moment where I finally gave up, where my car crashed and I had no way out, where I really, I was being raped and I just had no way out. At the hardest moments, I had to surrender, and I surrendered because there was no other choice. It was either that or death. But what I started to realize was my concept of surrender is skewed. Surrender is actually not a last resort. And we've talked about this in a previous episode, and I want to take it to a whole new level of what surrender can look like. Surrender is actually giving it up to love. What does that mean? See, you can call it God, you can call it universe, you can call it a higher power, whatever you want to call it. There is a loving force in this world. And my proof for that is that we're still alive. Okay? Humans, sorry, and excuse my language, I try to keep it clean, but are shitty. Okay? Look at our history. We kill hundreds of our own. In no species is that a thing. Species will kill other species, but they will never kill within their own. Or they will, but not on that mass level that we do. We go all out. Look at Hitler. Look at Stalin. And if we go further back, the pogroms, if we go even further back, this has been an ongoing issue since day one. Cain killed Hebel, or Cain and Hebel. They killed each other. They're brothers. If you really go back, you start to notice that humanity, we're messed up. And we don't deserve, by no means, to be here. But, and that's a big but. Love. When there's real love involved, even when someone does something really horrific, there is a room, there's a space for them to actually continue to exist. There's a space for life to continue in that ugliness and for it to perhaps turn beautiful. So, without love, we would be dead. And that's not a joke. That's real. I like to believe that God is the one who loves us, but you can call it the universe. Don't allow words to get in the way of you hearing this concept. Use whatever words you need. I like to believe that God loves us. And when he watched Cain kill Abel, he said, okay, this is wrong. And he did punish him, but he still loved. And because he loved Abel, he punished Cain. But because he loved Cain, he let Cain continue to live. Not an eye for an eye. Unlike what we like to believe. It's different. Justice isn't an eye for an eye. And now, on the flip side of it, if you're a fairly decent human, let's disconnect a little bit from all the horror that our species, our nations, our whatever you want to connect yourself to. Let's disconnect ourselves a little bit from it right now, because you're your own entity, and you don't have to take on the pain of everything that, the guilt of everything that, guilt by association. You don't got to do that. So let's disconnect it a second. If you're a fairly human, a decent human, which you are because you're sitting here and listening to me, take a deep breath. Well then, what if I told you that all the love of the entire world is waiting for you? That everything you're so afraid of is anyway being held and taken care of. That there is a whole slew of angels, or whatever it is you believe in this universe, holding you, ready to take care of you. What if I can tell you that the money you're so afraid of losing or having, it's not yours to worry about? What if I tell you that house that you're so afraid of buying or not buying, or someone getting instead of you, it's not yours to worry about? What if I told you that love, that God, that the universe is taking care of you? That by you holding on so tightly, you're actually messing with them, and they become limited on what they can do. Miracles, they happen every day, but there is a level of nature that was put in place. And when we are closed, when we hold on to the money so tight, and we don't allow the door of freedom, of abundance to open, the only way you open that is by letting go. So how about we do this real fast? Give ourselves the opportunity to see what openness looks like. Today was a little more philosophical, but I want to give you the experience of actually feeling, what do I mean? Right now, think of an area of your life that gives you anxiety. All right, so for me, for example, I'm going to use money. Money has been something I've been working on for a very long time, and it still has the ability to give me anxiety. Okay, so I want you to feel, how does your body feel? Does it feel closed, like tense, or does it feel open? How about, we're going to take a moment to take a step back. Think about something that makes you feel free, makes you fly. I think about water, waterfalls and trees. All right. Does that feel open or closed? If that didn't feel open, take a different choice. There is something that makes you feel open. It could be a baby, it could be the love of a child, of a spouse, Now, do you see the difference? When you close yourself, you're not leaving room for more. So right now, let's take a moment. Take a deep breath. And let's say a few words that will invite in the surrender we desire. And you can copy what I say or say your own, or just listen even. So, I have real trouble when it comes to money. I have trouble opening my heart the way I do when it comes to nature and love and happiness. And I really want to find a way to open my heart beyond this spot. So, I pray right now that my heart opens and that I start to believe that I am taken care of in this area the way I want to. I give my stuckness. I give this stuckness with money over to you, to love, for you to help me find the space to give myself the love I deserve and to give over this to you. So I give this over to love. I give this stuckness over to love. I know I struggled a little there. It's a hard topic for me. I've been doing so much work on it. But take a moment and allow yourself to give it over to love. Even if you struggle, keep going. Give it over to love. And what's happening to me right now is I feel this feeling of, it's okay. It's okay. Almost like a father or a parent just coming over and saying, it's okay. I get it. That's what love feels like. I don't know what kind of God you believe in or what kind of nature or universe you believe in, but this is the one that will get you to the place you want to go, the place of freedom, the place of knowing you're limited, and that's okay, because there's something bigger than you that's willing to take care of you. It does every single day, even when you don't deserve it, and especially when you deserve it, especially when you take over. You own up to the fact that, yes, I am a human and I'm going to make mistakes, and I do all the time. And I'm going to resist. But I give over my resistance. That was the word I was looking for. I give over my resistance. When it comes to money, I give it over to love. All right, guys, it's getting real. We're almost done with this series. I'd like to know what you want to hear next. What would be the next series that would take you to the next level? What is it that you need to learn? You know the drill. Like and subscribe. I'm waiting to hear from you.